Hi everyone, this is Robert Elliott, the owner of Engage Pickleball and the person that's been designing the paddles for since our conception almost 10 years ago. So I'm really excited here. My marketing team had this crazy idea that I do a Instagram live session to talk about our new paddle, the Pursuit Pro1 innovation. So I'm here to answer some questions. So we got some questions from some of our followers before the session, but during the session, if you have some questions or anything, feel free to ask them. We're going to do our best job during this short period of time here to give you guys the down low on the new paddle. So let's talk about that first. Let's take the first question we had is, what is this new paddle? What is this Pro1 innovation all about? So the biggest thing here is, and I've got it right here actually, so we can take a look at what this paddle is all about. And you can see it's actually kind of cool. It has a different graphic on each side of this paddle. So let's step back first and what is the Pro1? So the Pro1, our Pursuit Pro1 elongated paddle came out last year. And it was a big hit, one of our top selling paddles. But we kept getting the same questions is, all right, well, I love the paddle, but I don't like elongated shaped paddles. Elongated are typically 16.5 by 7.5 inches, kind of the same between all the manufacturers. So last month, over the last year, we developed it in other shapes. And last month, we released the Pro1 in a hybrid and a wide body shape. And we would have done this innovation at the same time, but what I'm going to go over is the technology took a little bit longer, so to perfect it and everything. So that's just why it's delayed the other paddles, the other Pro1 paddles within the family by about a month. So again, the Pro1 family, we had the Pro1 elongate out last year. Last month, we launched the hybrid, a little shorter, a little wider, a little shorter grip for those that want that all-around playability but love the Pro1. And then we also have a Pro1 wide body. Both of those I have right here, which are kind of cool. As you can see, it's a little bit wider. So the wide body basically is a little bit shorter, even more than the hybrid, a little bit wider for the control freaks, the people that love to move the ball around, create opportunities, reset the ball, but still want the Pro1 power to put it away. So let's jump to our latest, the fourth paddle within the Pursuit Pro1 line of paddles. And again, this is our last one. This is the last shape that we're going to do. So it's got four, so we're good. So let's take a quick look at this innovation paddle, and then we'll get to some questions. Again, guys, if you're watching this, ask questions if you want. I'm going to try to get to them. So again, the graphics different on both sides. A little change, a little bit more fun, a little bit more performance driven. So the first thing you're going to notice, what's really different about this paddle and why did we design the Pro1 innovation? With the other shapes that people asked for, the Pro1 last year was the most powerful legal paddle, and I'll leave that alone. I think that speaks for itself, hitting the UPA and USAP power limits. So everyone's saying, what can you do? Give me more, give me more, give me more power, give me more spin. So we kind of had to work around some of those things, but I think we did it. Based on the feedback, we've leaked some of these paddles out the last month, and the feedback's amazing. We have hundreds of reviews saying it's the best paddle we've ever made, best paddle for them, one of the best paddles out there. So, quick looks at this paddle. It's slightly longer. It's 16.6 inches by 7.4. And again, I'll just step back for a second. What's this paddle designed for? For the aggressive player, the attacker, the player that loves to put the pressure on their opponents and keep them there, keep them on defense. So what we did was we took this paddle, made it a little bit longer, 16.6 times 7.4, and we stretched the grip a little bit longer. Why did we do that? One of the ways to get more power out there is to create more flex. This paddle is all about weight distribution and flex. And a big important thing for flex, other than more spin and more power, is it's a big keyword kind of out there lately called the dwell time. The more flex you have, the more time the ball stays on the paddle, hence creating more spin. So, first off, in addition to the shape, we actually changed the weighting of this paddle. The Pro1 paddle, elongated and hybrid and wide body, is all designed about power and balance, lowering the weight to make it faster in your hand. Because the faster you hit, the faster you need to get back into the ready position. This paddle creates weight in the handle and the head, creating almost a virtual hinge in the middle to allow even more flex than we've ever created, more flex than any other paddle out there. So you're able to hit those hard shots and keep them in. I haven't played pro events in about 6 years. I was kind of known as a power player. I can swing pretty much as hard as I can. I hit just as hard as anyone, and I can keep the ball in easily with this paddle. But what's more, with the flexing, you're able to dip the ball more. So by hitting those sharp cross court, anywhere your opponent is on the court, you're able to dip the ball at their feet. That's the amazing thing, is the power and the spin. So I won't get into too much more, but that's what it's really designed for. We wrap all this technology, the rebalancing, the weighting, the flexing, we call it spin core technology. And I won't bore you too much in there, but it's all about repositioned flex zone, where we're going to put the hitting area compared to where the paddle flexes, along with, making sure that the paddle face accelerates through your swing. That's a really important thing, that the paddle head accelerates faster as you swing. Hasn't been done in any of our paddles before, only in the Pro1 innovation. So that's the quick synopsis of this paddle. I think I've taken enough time. I'm going to get to some of the questions that are out there. So first question we had from some of you out there is, when is this paddle going to be released? Great question. It's kind of been out there. We've been leaking it for the last couple weeks. It is officially available to the general public for pre-order today. So whether you go to our website or one of our great partners out there, you're able to pre-order this paddle today. It's going to ship to all of you on April 10th. From us and all of our partners, it's going to ship on the same day, April 10th. So if you want to take advantage of it, they're probably going to sell pretty fast. We've actually had a couple dealers out there. They're already reordering because of the interest in this paddle, which is amazing. So another question we had that came through is Jesse going to be switching? So Jesse Irvine, been with us for about 5-6 years now, is our signature pro player, incredible person, and answer is yes. Jesse, this is her official paddle. She loves it. I don't have it with me right now. I wish I did because it looks pretty neat. The Jesse signature paddle actually has a fading effect between her colors, and it looks really, really good. So I'm excited about that paddle. If you watch her playing PPA right now, she won't be using it right now because we're still waiting for it. We already know it's going to pass the UPA, so it will be UPA approved for all of you that play in the PPA events and everything. We know it's going to. So right now it's USAP approved, but it's going to be UPA approved also, both of them. And I forgot to mention, this paddle comes in thick and thin. 12.7 millimeters and also 15.2 millimeters. Both of them are going to be approved for UPA play within hopefully the next 2 to 3 weeks. So look out for that. We'll announce it everywhere. So let's see. I have a couple other questions here. So, all right. So let's go to another question that I have here. And I saw another player. Yeah, I see the comments here. Love Jessie. I agree. She's incredible. So I'm going to go with this question. I love the Pursuit Pro shape, like the innovation. Is it head heavy? That's a great question. So is it, I hate to say, I don't even know the right way to say this. So long story short, no, but there's a but in there. So where we wanted to create that virtual hinge, create that flex, create the head to accelerate faster than any of our paddles on the market, any other paddle out there, through your swing to create that power and spin, we had to put some weight in the head. I'm not going to tell you exactly where it is, but I'm going to tell you we had to put some there. But what we did was we counterbalanced it. We kept the weight of the other Pro1 paddles in the handle. So even though we added weight here, there's weight here too. So it does balance itself out. Is it a little bit more head heavy compared to the other Pro1 paddles? Yes. That's because the Pro1 elongated, hybrid, wide body, that was all about hand speed, maneuverability. So we put even more weight in the handle, lowering it. So is it head heavy? No. Is it a little bit more head heavy compared to our other Pro 1 paddles? Yes, if that makes sense. All right, so let's take another question out there. All right, this is a good one, given this one here. Are there any other, actually, what paddles are coming out after the Pro 1? I'm gonna hold that. I'm gonna just see if there's any more questions about the innovation. Then we'll talk a little bit about what's new, what's coming after this innovation here. So, all right, we've got a couple other questions here. So, all right, so let's see here. So I forgot the question. Actually, we're going to go to it because, again, we don't want to sit here and just listen to me talking the whole time or everything. So we have quite a few questions. This is our latest paddle, everything, but what's next for Engage? So, of course, we're being asked, is there a high-density foam core paddle coming in the near future? So the answer is yes. We're already developing it. We already have prototypes and everything. So it's going to be a foam core paddle more in the all-around power and control. So it's going to be a little kind of petering between the performance and performance control. So I should say that a little different. It's going to be a foam core paddle that sits between our control and performance. So this paddle, the Pro 1 innovation, is designed to be within the Pro 1 family, the maximum amount of power and spin you can create. The Pro 1 Elongate if you want power but more balanced. So these are all our power series. Our foam paddle is going to be hitting more on the control side, so performance paddle control. And another question also is, are we coming out with a Gen 3 type construction? The answer is yes. And that's going to follow kind of a similar suit to where our foam core is going to be coming. And it is a performance paddle, but it's going to be a control performance paddle, not a power. Again, this is our power paddle for the next indefinite period of time, next 6 months, 9 months, give or take, or longer. So we do have also a Gen 3 style paddle coming out. That time frame is June for all of you. I've gotten a couple questions here. When is that going to be? And it is June. It's a great paddle for anyone that just wants that control and everything. Again, we have the Pro 1 wide body if you love it. The Gen 3 technology is a little bit different than this technology, so it depends on which type of technology do you like. Do you like the thermoform type feel paddles? Engage is going to have one of those for you. We're going to have a control paddle for you in June, and others shortly after that. You love the typical Engage feeling paddle, the US made style. You got the Pro 1 family here for those. If you love the high density foam type feeling paddles and the benefits there, we're going to have one of those also for you, and probably around the July time frame. Now, why am I all excited about that? It's because the same thing that we had with the Pro 1 family. We made a shape. There's 4 shapes in the Pro 1 family: innovation, elongated, hybrid, and wide body. Why do we have that? Because we want a paddle for everyone. We want you, if you love that type of technology, we want to have the paddle for you. If you love the Gen 3 thermoform type technology, we're going to have that for you. You love the foam, we have that for you too, to suit you. So you can just come to Engage we're known for having one of the best customer service out there. So you come to us, we've got one of the best warranties. We've got one of the best, all our paddles come with 30 test drive. So you can just come to one shop, whatever the technology, whatever the shape, the playing style you have, we have you covered. So I just saw a question here. I know I talk fast at times. I'm kind of excited for this. This is kind of fun, actually. I'll probably be doing more of these. But what did you say about coming in July? In July, we should be having our high-density foam paddle coming out. That will be July. And for any of you, I see now what was June. I'll just go. We have our Gen 3, Gen 4 style paddle coming out in June, which will be a performance paddle, but a control paddle, not a power paddle. For those that love that type of playing. So, and I got this again. I'm just going to do it in case any of you missed it and everything. Is it approved for PPA? Not. The innovation is in for testing. As I said earlier, we know it's going to pass, and probably we're 2-3 weeks out. Jessie herself is dying because she loves this paddle and everything. Right now, if you are using Engage paddles, our 1/2 inch Pro1 elongated is UPA approved, has always been. So if you are playing PPA, go ahead and keep using your Pro1 elongated, and in the next couple weeks or so, you'll be able to turn to the innovation right along Jesse. All right, let me see if there's any other questions here. I know that I was told to keep it around 15 minutes. We'll have more in the future if this is fun for you guys. It's kind of fun for me. So let me see if there's any questions that are out here coming out. All right. Oh, this is a good question. Is it made in the USA? And just like all Pursuit paddles, all Pro1 paddles, yes, this paddle is made in USA, just like all our other paddles. By what's unique again with Engage is all of our paddles, all the Pursuit Pro1 paddles are made by Engage employees and our own factories right here in Florida. We don't outsource anything. We do the design of the cores and the skins. They come to us. We do the fabrication. We do the assembly. We do the printing. We have multiple large UV printers, so we do it all. This paddle's made right here. So, great question. Love answering that question. All right, let me see here. Let me see if there's any other questions. Somebody asked me a good question out there. Is this paddle a Gen 3 construction? No. It is our typical construction that Engage. We just took our type of paddle and made it much better. This is the latest innovation that you can do with a non-Gen 3 style paddle, I'd say. And the reason that we didn't release this as a Gen 3, we could have designed this technology around a Gen 3, Gen 4 style paddle, but we did it. It just didn't play as good. The performance wasn't there. So what I wanted to do with this paddle, everything I explained earlier with this, to create a paddle with maximum power, maximum spin that you could hit as hard as you can, keep the ball in, and be able to dip that ball right over the net at your opponent's feet, no matter where they are at the kitchen or the transition area. It played best with this technology, and I'm going to tell you a big reason why. Gen 3 paddles are thermoformed. Gen 4 paddles, all those, they're thermoformed, which means the carbon wraps around the outside of the paddle. What does that do? It makes the paddle stiffer. So this is called a cold pressed technology, open. Now, if you want a paddle that flexes, you have to use that technology, because otherwise, if I took this hard skin, all the strength in the paddle is in the skin, not the core. The cores are soft. They're designed to absorb the ball and compress and release. If I have a hard skin, like a T7, this is a raw T700 wrapping around the outside, it strengthens the paddle, making it flex less. This paddle is all about flex, dwell time, keeping that ball on the paddle face. You have to use this technology, the open cold press, if you want to maximize that. That's why this paddle, this design, spin core technology was designed with this technology, not a Gen 3. But again, we do have a Gen 3 for those of you that love that, coming really soon, like I said, in June. All right, let's see. What is some other questions out there? Can you... Oh, I like that. That's a good question. There was a question about putting a slightly longer handle on the wide body. I have the wide body here. So, let's look at the wide body. All right, here's the Pursuit Pro1 wide body. It is of the Pro1 family, the 4 paddles that are within this, the shortest and widest, right? Again, we all know you're governed by 24 inches length plus width, right? So this grip is approximately 5 1/8 to 5 1/4 inches. So we did make it longer than our predecessor wide body paddles, standard shape paddles. So all of you that know our paddles, the Pursuit EX, right, had a 5-inch grip. So this wide body does have a slightly longer grip than our EX. So, because we got that question a lot, can you make it a little bit longer? I have big hands. I might want to, even though I like the short grip, put my second hand on it. So this paddle's able to do it. So will we stretch it longer? In the future, maybe. So we might make a wide body 16 inches or so by 8. This is actually 15 7/8 by 8 1/8 wide. We might make it a little longer if the quests come in and it plays well, because it's all about making sure the paddle plays great. All right, so let's go to the next one. The paddle is impressive. Great job. Thank you. I appreciate whoever put that one in there. Yep, and the same thing. Really love the dwell time, the feedback too. There's not much vibration. So let's talk about that for a second, because I didn't actually touch upon that. The technology in this paddle. One of the biggest things we want to do, and a big thing there, is twist weight. This is an aggressive paddle. This is a paddle for those that want to be aggressive. So if you're aggressive, you're probably swinging faster than normal. If you're swinging faster than normal, you might not be on that sweet spot perfectly. You might be off a little as you're hitting hard, they're hitting hard back, and you're hitting hard. So we had to improve the twist weight. What twist weight is, the ability, if you hit off center, for the paddle to stay true, not to vibrate and basically hitting a dead spot and all this stuff. So one big thing with this whole design here, putting weight here and weight here, creating that virtual hinge here, is we specifically engineered the weight in the head to improve the twist weight. This sweet spot is huge. You can hit, and again, the target is never the sweet spot. Don't ever think that. Some people think it is. It's never is. It's just our logo, and we like the way it looks, right? For aggressive players and everything, a target's kind of cool too. So, again, if we look at this paddle as you're swinging fast, you're charging, they're swinging just hard. I mean, you can hit all over this paddle, right? And doesn't matter. You're going to feel it. It's going to be crisp. It's going clean, no matter where you're hitting on this paddle face. That's incredible for all type of players. And I'm not just saying this is for aggressive players. I should really step back. I've been kind of told I shouldn't always say that. It was the design purpose, but given what I just mentioned, the length of this paddle, the feel of this paddle, what that person just said in the notes, that there's no vibrations. Obviously, they got one of the pre-releases, because we did leak a few for reviews and everything out there over the last month, that even for people that are control people, this paddle is great too, because of the weight in the paddle face, and the handle allows you that as you're working through that transition area, as long as you get this paddle on the ball and it's pointed up, the ball is going to go over the net. So it is incredible also for defensive players that want that ability where they don't have to swing so hard. They can just slow their swing down and move the ball around and have that huge, awesome twist weight that they never have to worry about having a mishit. Another question here for somebody, is Jessie switching to it? Long story short is Jessie has already switched to it, but she just can't use it in PPA events because it's not UPA approved yet. We're waiting for it to be approved, and as I mentioned earlier, about 2-3 weeks, give or take, we should have the official UPA approval for both, the thick and thin, and at that point, yes. Jessie right now is still using our Pro1 elongated, which is an amazing paddle too, because that is UPA approved right now and has been for the last year. It's the paddle that Jessie's been using for like I said, the last almost a year since it's been out. All right, is there a break-in time frame that gives maximum ball dwell time? You're going to love the answer to this. With our technology, the break, it's not like, how do I say this properly? The answer is, it slightly depends, but more of the answer is no. With the thermoform type paddles, as a lot of you guys probably know and everything, it changes. They delaminate a lot faster and becoming a trampoline effect and everything. This technology, the open cell technology, very, very different, and they do not delaminate. So what you get is what you get. So this was the great thing with working with the USAP and the UPA when they were doing their tests of this paddle along with the Pro1 elongated, is the UPA tests your paddle, and these paddles are at the maximum power limit, right? The UPA does it a little bit different. They actually have a cannon, and they shoot the ball at it. I think it's like 5,000 times, trying to break it in. They're trying to resemble 3 months worth of play. And the great thing, and the president of UPA actually called me and told me this, it was kind of interesting that after 5,000 balls through a cannon hitting our paddle, there was only a 2% deviation. That's it. That's all after 3 months worth of play. That's what you get with an engaged paddle. That's what you get with the Pro1 family of paddles. So right when you get out there, the paddles, I mean, of course they all break in a little bit, but you're talking only a 2-3% difference. So right away when you get this paddle, it's going to keep playing that way, right? So you're not going to have to buy a paddle and hope when it delaminates in 3 weeks, 6 weeks, that it's still something you like after spending the amount of money that these paddles go for now, right? So that's a great thing. That's a benefit of one of our paddles. All right, let's see here. I've got another question is, all right, I've got some there that just said you should try both of them. That they tried both, the 15.2 millimeter and the 12.7, and they ended up liking the 12.7 better. You know what? I agree. Try both of them. See which one you like. But a lot of you guys, I know more aggressive players know that the thinner the paddle, the more power you have. But they're great. If you do like a slightly softer feeling paddle, then as we all know, the thicker the paddle, the softer the feel is. You should try the 15.2 millimeter first. But these paddles are out at all of our dealers. They're online. All of our dealers have to do our 30-day test drive, so you're never out. You never have to worry about buying an Engage paddle. We have you covered. Whether you buy from us or you buy from a dealer, we have you covered. All right, so let me see. All right. So I'll address this. This is kind of a negative question, but I'm going to go there because I don't mind them and everything. So why don't you make the graphic more sexy? All right, it's a good question. All right, and we're kind of known maybe not for the sexiest paddle, but I actually think it looks kind of cool. So one of the things we did here, so we do have new graphics coming in the next whole line of paddles. With this line of paddles, we did want to stay with our target design. We made it a little bit different, right? We thinned the lines up. We did a little bit more. As you guys see with most of the performance paddles out there, there's not much on it. We kind of started the black face paddle with our first generation of the Pursuit paddle 3 years ago. We were one of the first all black paddles out there, right? We had a black print on a carbon. You could barely see the graphic, and kind of started this whole thing of these black paddles. A lot of the performance paddles out there now, very, very little on them. And it's kind of the trend and everything. We do have our target on this side, but what we did was we removed it on the back side. So we got a lot of good feedback that, I don't know how this really looks on this video and everything, but in person, I think it looks pretty cool. The feedback is really, really positive about this, that people really like the look of this paddle. We simplified this. There's no more verticals, no more lines. We removed some stuff from it. And then again, the back side, just have you clear, simple, says Engage, that's about it. So we did take that into consideration before we did this. Had a lot of people look at it and worked with our dealers too, and it was all positive. So, all right. Another question here. I like this one. I'm going to compliment Engage staff. They're so easy to deal with, and they do a great job. Thank you. I agree with you. I think we have pretty much one of the best teams out there. Definitely our customer service is up there to be the best, and I just have to say the last couple years we rate our customer service 1 to 5 several different ways, and we haven't dipped under a 4.85 in about 2 years now out of a 5. So again, I agree, kudos to my team, and that's part of what makes Engage is we're going to be here. Been here for 10 years. We're not going anywhere. I know a lot of people ask that question. I'm scared to buy a paddle. I don't know if they're going to be around. We've been here 10 years. We're not going anywhere. We're one of the largest paddle manufacturers in the world, one of the best customer service teams. So, yeah, and we're having fun. So, all right. Let's see. What else? Yeah, so here's a good question. Any way I could try the innovation? Yeah, definitely, guys. Most of our dealers already have them. So if you're near one of our dealers, go ahead, go there. They've got them already. So also our online dealers don't have them available yet. So all the online dealers, including us, you can pre-order today, and they're going to start shipping April 10th. I know my customer service team is going to cringe here, but again, hey, we have a 30-day test drive. So don't not buy it because you don't want to be stuck with it and everything. Engage has you covered. So don't ever worry about that. Try the paddle. You're going to love it. All right? So if not, hey, send it back to us. I have no problem. All right. With that, we're coming on the half an hour. So all of you that joined, I want to thank you. I know this kind of went probably a little bit longer, but the questions kept coming, so I wanted to address that. And I will close with this one last question for somebody that's asking, what will the Just C signature look like? All right, I did talk about it a little, and I'm sorry I don't have it here. We have it already designed out. It does look like this, but pretty. We took her standard colors that she has, her blue and pink that she likes, and it's actually, I don't even know the right terminology for that. It's a gradient design. So I'll just take right here. I think it starts the pink or the blue, and it's a gradient decrease all the way through. And it's also that way on this side, both here and here have that gradient from one color to the next, and of course the target, everything is her two colors. So it looks really good. I do have to give it that it's definitely the best looking paddle Jesse's ever had with us. So, all right. I think that's going to be it. I'm at the 30-minute mark. Thank you for everyone for joining. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope I answered your question. If I didn't, please send an email to our team. Our customer service team would love to answer the questions for you. Just email info@engagepickleball.com and they'll answer all your questions. Thanks, everyone.